Speech, he lost it already. Come on, make some noise out there. You can speech. Right? No? And at this time, I kindly ask everybody for your undivided attention, please. Speak loud, got it.
Yeah.
Hello, mabuhay. And maganda na tanghali po. Mom, was that good? Hi, my name is Robert Apana, and as you heard, I'm the best man. Before I start, I'd first like to thank the parents of the bride and the groom, Mr. and Mrs. Cupio, and Mr. and Mrs. Demagas. Please, a round of applause. And to the bridesmaids and the groom. So I was talking to Joe yesterday while he was, getting rid of some last-minute errands, and he asked me what I was doing, and I said, well, I'm working on my speech. And he immediately said, bro, whatever you do, don't bomb. Thanks, Joe. That's a lot of support right there. So we go back a long way. We've been best friends since high school. Weird time in our lives. We just graduated from 8th grade, and we're starting this new chapter. And for some reason, our parents convinced us that going to an all-boy Catholic school was way better than going to a co-ed one. Go figure. Anyway, we would never have met had they not forced us into that school. Thanks, Mom and Dad, Mr. and Mrs. Demagas. Some of our early memories of meeting Joe, I'm standing in his bedroom, and I'm looking around. He's just about 14 years old, and his entire bedroom was covered in Alyssa Milano posters, Debbie Gibson posters, just eyes and smiles, and I just felt like someone was watching me at all times. And the thing is, it gets weirder. He then goes, come over here. He opens a drawer, and it's full of nunchucks and Chinese throwing stars and rations. I mean, this is the Joe that we all know and love. And he's like, in case the world ends, we know where to come. We have everything we need to fight evil right in my bedroom. Okay. Anyone else in the house, Joe? No, just you and me. Thanks. I'd like to fast forward a bit to, well, Father Len gave you a version of his story of how they fell in love, and I am now going to give you my version. Joe tells me his cousin hooks him up with this cute Filipina for their first date. Uh-oh. She looked at him and he's like, I'm gonna bomb. So he tells me he's going on a first date with this cute Filipina. And after the date, we're talking, and I'm asking him, so how'd it go? And he goes, oh, it's the greatest date ever, So I'm like, well, what'd you guys do? And he tells me, well, we had dinner, and we came back to my room afterwards. I'm like, wow, that is a great date already. I'm like, nice. And well, what were you doing in there? And he says, we talked about Pokemon. He goes on about Pokemon, all the different characters they like, and who was better. I'm like, so just so I understand, you spent the entire time in this bedroom, your bedroom, talking about Pikachu and Snarfalarphagus? Yes! She's so cool! I knew you were a keeper at that point. So, which brings us today. I feel as though I should be passing some form of wisdom down to you guys. The truth is, I don't really have any considering I'm not married. But I know at least 6 people who do. And I went to each of our parents and asked them a simple question. What makes a successful marriage? My dad, first up, not afraid to speak his mind. Can I tell you, when I first looked at him, his eyes just opened wide as though he was waiting for this moment. He goes, number 1, marriages are made in heaven, but we must learn to make them work on earth. Number 2, marriage involves a lot of giving and sharing, and not just taking. One should not expect too much from the other. Number 3, no matter how small or big the argument, it's It's not important who is right or wrong, but who is willing to compromise and understand. Well, after he opened fortune cookie number 4, I stopped taking notes. My mother, next up. A marriage must be filled with love, respect, and honesty. Be there for each other during both the bad and the good. You must not be afraid to talk to each other. And then she says, always look good for each other. And always buy her flowers, no matter what. Always take time for each other, and don't fight about money. Next up is Mr. Hupio. He's very direct, straight to the point. Be good and be loving. Keep faith in God. Be patient with each other. Very nice. Next up was Mrs. Hupio. Love, patience, understanding, kindness, and God first. Lots and lots of love, serve each other, and help each other. We are all human beings with unique personalities, and when you unite two people who are not exactly the same, then you must learn to accept the faults of the other. Very nice, Mrs. Hupio. Mr. Demagus, I call him up and I ask him, can I ask you a question? What makes a successful marriage? He responds, oh, that's deep. Then it's a long pause. Mr. Demagus, you still there? Understanding. Learn to cope with each other's needs. Adapt to your partner's needs, what they want, and how to please them. Give and take. Compromise is the most important thing. He's shorthand, by the way. Last up, Mrs. Demagus. Don't take advantage of each other and don't take each other for granted. And then she goes on to give a lot of examples. For example, I am carrying something heavy and your husband passes you by thinking, oh, you're capable of doing that yourself. But it would be nice if the husband says, no, that's too heavy, let me carry it forward. Example number 2, you go to the mall, and most husbands think, all right, freedom. But it'd be nice if the husband said, wait, give me 5 minutes, and I'll take you there. Number 3, I make coffee and breakfast most of the time, and it's nice when the husband does it on the weekends, for example. Number 4, it's nice when the husband cares and makes you feel important. That's love. Love is wrapped around the little things. Mr. Demagus, I really hope you're doing these things because I think she might be using me as a platform to send out some message. I'm not entirely sure. I'll give you this card afterwards. You keep it, mark them off as you do them. Anyway, it was great talking to all of these parents and knowing what it was to make a successful marriage. And although I don't know myself, just the idea of knowing that you're there for each other and that you have the rest of your marriage to figure things out for yourself. And that, I congratulate you guys. Please, everyone, raise the glasses. To Marianne and Joe, in a marriage full of love and understanding and patience and all the little things.
That's right, everybody take a sip of that champagne. Set those glasses down and once again, how about a nice round of applause? Great job, great job. And at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we kindly ask everybody to please remain seated as our waitstaff goes around to take your choice of entree. Right after that, we'll get this party started. Once again, please remain seated.